is the PCSRA Radio Network and the Blue Hedgehog TV. We now interrupt your regular scheduled programming for the following sports special. This copyrighted broadcast is presented by the authority of the National Association of Professional Racing Leagues Incorporated for the private use of our audience. Any reproduction or rebroadcast, retransmission, or other dissemination or the use of this broadcast, descriptions, or accounts of this show without the express written consent of the National Association of Professional Racing Leagues Incorporated is prohibited. On the PCSRA Sports Network from Learfield IMG College. Welcome to the PCSRA Paddock Pass Show. We're glad that you're here to start a new journey of the PCSRA as the chase for the 2021 championships begin. Welcome to the PCSRA Paddock Pass on the PCSRA Radio Network as we get ready to bring you all the racing for the 2021 season. Today's broadcast has been brought to you by Budweiser, Love's Travel Stops, iHeartMedia, The Oklahoman, Newcastle Casino, Devon Energy, Sonic Drive-Ins, and by the Oklahoma Highway Safety Office, where we encourage all of you fans that together we can end DUI. Now, for the greatest show on earth from today's episode of the PCSRA Paddock Pass from Yukon, Oklahoma, here's the voice of the PCSRA, Daniel Voiles. I cannot believe the NASCAR season is already over in this regard, and it was a fun excitement to have on this channel. So we're definitely excited so far. Welcome to How in the World Am I Drinking Ginger Ale on the first day of the NASCAR off-season edition of Triple P. I'm Daniel Voiles. Sorry if my voice sounds a little cracky. I just woke up about, 5 or so minutes ago. So yeah, we are excited to be with all of our amazing panelists who are really excited for this show to get underway here on Amazingville from Amazingness. Yes, we've concluded the NASCAR season yesterday as we are ready to kick off a great show here today. Just a couple of announcements before we get started. Like I said, if you hear my voice sounds a little bit cracky, I do apologize. Like I said, I just got up about 5 or so minutes ago.
This Thursday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time will be live coverage of the Veterans Day Clash from Bristol Motor Speedway, which we're definitely looking forward to that. The Thanksgiving race is already been recorded and uploaded. That will take part at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. I had it scheduled at 11. I'll need to change it so that way I don't have that conflicting with Napa fans race, if you know what I mean. Um, so, yes. We're definitely looking forward to that. Today is going to be a very long show because if you notice the agenda, um, we have a lot of topics to cover because not only is this a special show of Triple P, this is also one we're looking back on the NASCAR Pit Stop show because, um, it is their final ever episode. Yeah, so it'll be the final episode of that show's history. And this show, we're going to talk about the memories we are going to like, and all that. So, yeah, we still have a global championship to go. Which, by the way, if you don't know about this show, normally we do final thoughts on the season, but because we still are following global, we will take you guys to the checker flag in Abu Dhabi as promised. As looks like I was probably wrong about being the only one at the house. So, yes. Um, I will have I will bring the panelists in after I recap the two global races. So, there you go. So, if you guys ready, to start recapping, but first, let's pause 10 seconds to allow stations to identify themselves. This is Triple P on the PCSRA Radio Network. Yeah, we've hit the top of the hour, and it's already lunchtime, so we're ready to have this fun. We only have one panelist. I'll introduce him in just a second after I recap the F1 and Supercar race. So, the top 10 results for race number one for the Supercar race from Sydney. Shane Van Gisbergen got the win. Jamie Whincup second. Will Davidson third. Nick Perricat fourth. Todd Hazelwood fifth. Jack LeBlanc sixth. Seventh is Tim Slade. Cameron Waters eighth. Scott Pye ninth. And Bryce Fullwood complete the top 10. The top 10 results for race number two. Antoine D. Pascal got the win. SVG second. James Courtney third. Will Davidson fourth. Scott Pye fifth. Will Brown sixth. Andre Himgardner seventh. Chaz Mustard eighth. Nick Perricat ninth. And Mark Winterbottom Frosty complete the top 10. The top 10 results in race number three. Jamie Whincup the winner. Congratulations to him. Anton De Pascal second. Chaz Monster third. Nick Perricat fourth. Tim Slade fifth. Will Brown sixth. Will Davidson seventh. Cameron Waters eighth. Todd Hazelwood ninth. And Andre Himgardner completed the top 10. Then we go to the F1 race for the Mexican Grand Prix. Sadly, I couldn't watch it because of work and their stupidity. Well, I'll tell you how it went down. Max Verstappen got a great start behind the two Mercedes. He pulled out in the second phase, got a very good tow from Lewis Hamilton, swung around to the lead. As that happened going into turn one, Daniel Ricciardo got into the back of Valtteri Bottas, spun him around. Then Mick Schumacher got together with Yuki Tsunoda, took both drivers out of the event. That caused a safety car. And Bottas's race just went from bad to worse, if you know what I mean. That was the only thing that happened in that race, as far as that's concerned. But at the end of the day, it was Max Verstappen who got the checker flag to win the Mexico City Grand Prix, even though I still call it Mexican Grand Prix. Either way, Max Verstappen wins in Mexico. The top 10 results for the F1 race. Max Verstappen the winner, Lewis Hamilton second, Sergio Perez third. Marks the first time that a Mexican driver got to got to be on the podium in their home race. That's the first time that's ever happened before in that race since they brought the race back in 2015. Pierre Gasly fourth, Charles Leclerc fifth, Carlos Sainz Jr. sixth, Sebastian Vettel seventh, Kimi Räikkönen eighth, Fernando Alonso ninth, and Lando Norris complete the top 10. As I welcome Mr. Sean Art to join us for Triple P. Wait, hang on. There we go. I don't know why that was not up. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Sometime today I'm gonna go get some food, so that way I can get rid of this crappiness in my voice.
Well, good afternoon.
Yeah.
Or good morning to everyone who's watching.
Good morning to everybody on the West Coast. Good afternoon to everybody on the East.
Or good evening to everyone else around
Yes.
the world.
Wherever you are, we say hello. So, real quickly, as my phone made me almost derp. Before I get to Phoenix, my thoughts on Sydney and hi Great Lakes. My thoughts on Sydney and Mexico. Mexico, for the first time since 2019, like the USA GP, was a interesting race. I didn't expect we were going to have a safety car. I know Daniel Ricciardo didn't mean to hit Bottas in turn one. He locked up the right front tire. He knew he tried to get it slowed down, couldn't. But I'm surprised the stewards didn't give Ricciardo a time penalty for causing a collision, to be quite honest with you, because normally when you cause a collision, you would get a penalty, but they kind of figured it was a racing deal and too many cars in too small of a space, because turn one is a tight turn, you know.
Yeah, that's true, and everyone kind of knows. And I'm going to speak for myself here on this because I've seen many of those events.
Yeah.
That turns ways a dangerous corner.
Yeah.
Especially when lights are out.
Yeah. And they were on cold tires, so because remember Ricardo was on fresh tires if I recall. Yeah, because Ricardo's on fresh tires because he didn't get to Q3. Bottas had to start the race on the tires he qualified to get into Q3, which was the medium. So.
Yeah, that's correct.
All right. Okay. Let's talk about. Oh, I forgot to give ratings. F1 race. I didn't tell everybody about this. Normally, Mexico would have been a bad rating for me, but since we had a safety car, Checo having a freaking good run, almost tried to pass Lewis Hamilton towards the end. Mexico City, 8.5. Good race. For the first race back, that was good racing. For the Sydney, I'm going to give it a whopping 10 out of 10. Alright, now let's talk about Phoenix, my friends. We begin with the Truck Series race. A little disclaimer. I watched the race at a casino. Why? I don't know. It's called it was because of our quote-unquote we were going out to eat part. Okay? Okay. So, the race was, I don't know, how should I say it, Sean? Not too exciting, because normally for the Truck Series, as Cody is here, and Cody is muted. I think Sean's muted too, because he went to go get something.
I'm good now.
Oh. Yes, hola, Senor Cody. Alright.
I just missed out on whatever you said, Doug.
Well, I was saying, the race was kind of, shall we say, okay, wasn't that great. Anyway, I'll explain to you all what happened.
Which one are you talking?
The truck race.
It was
Yeah, that's how I would describe it. First incident of the race, Lawless Allen cut a right rear tire down coming off turn number 4. Backed his truck into the wall. Sadly, his race came to an end. Nothing happened in the first 2 stages. Chandler Smith won both of them. And then the final caution was Tate Fogelman having an electrical problem. that took him out of the race. That brought up the last caution. Nothing else happened in Stage 3 after that. Or should I say the rest of Stage 3, nothing else happened. And at the end of the day, Chandler Smith took the checker flag and got his first win of the season. He also wins Rookie of the Year. And Ben Rhodes becomes your 2021 Camping World Truck Series champion. The top 10 results for the Truck Series race. Chandler Smith, the winner. Stuart Friesen second. Ben Rhodes third. He will finish as your champion. Sheldon Creed fourth. Zane Smith fifth. He will finish second in points. Christian Eckes sixth. John Hunter Nemechek seventh. He will finish third in the point standings. Todd Gilliland eighth. Carson Hocevar ninth. Austin Hill completed the top 10. Matt Crafton was the fourth championship contender. He finishes 12th. He'll finish fourth in the points standings. Heading on over to the Xfinity Series race. I didn't watch it because I felt like shit Saturday and I went to bed early. But let's tell you what really happened in that race. Nothing really happened in Stage 1. Austin Cindric won the Stage 1. First actual incident, Jeffrey Earnhardt got turned by Joe Graf Jr. and got the 47 of Kyle Weatherman into the incident. Nothing happened in stage number 2. That was won by Daniel Hemrick. Then Sage Karam got into Joe Graf Jr., took Graf Jr. out of the race. Then Jeffrey Earnhardt, who was already out of the race, had a beef with Joe Graf Jr., which NASCAR tried to make sure none of those two cause a fight. Otherwise, they'd be sent to the big red truck after the race. Then Sage Karam turned Matt Mills in turn number 1. Then Stephen Parsons blew his engine on the front straightaway. Jay Buford spun coming off turn 2, which is the old turn 4. AJ Allmendinger had a tire going down. He spun out in turn number 2. Then the 78 of Sheldon Creed, who, by the way, was making his first start of the season and his second Xfinity start, got into an incident with the 10 of Jeb Burton. Both drivers continued on. Then the 48 of Jay Buford got together with the 92 of Josh Williams. Both of them really crashed in turn number 3. Daniel Hemrick made a bump and run pass on Austin Cindric, beats Austin Cindric by a fender, and Daniel Hemrick pulled off the goddess of gods as he gets his first career win in NASCAR, and on top of that, wins the championship in the process. Go ahead, Sean.
Not to harp towards time like that or anything, but
yeah,
it was kind of controversial.
Mm-hmm.
That it wasn't, but it kind of was.
Yeah. In my opinion, and Sean brought up a good point on Twitter, because the format is really a joke, in my opinion, but does NASCAR ever listen? Hell no.
NASCAR never listens to their fans, and it shows why it's a joke, for one thing, but it shows how inconsistent these people.
Yeah. So. Anyway, the top 10 results for the Xfinity Series. Daniel Hemrick, the winner. Austin Cindric, second. Oh, I forgot to tell Cody this. Okay, Cody, you mentioned Austin Cindric. Austin Cindric blew it, right? No. Austin Cindric led the most laps and blew it, Cody. You should have had a double you blew it ready. Yeah. By the way, Daniel Hemrick will win the championship. Austin Cindric will finish second. Cindric, in his final start in the Xfinity Series, he will be moving to the Cup Series next season. The 22 team, I do want to point this out, and I haven't told the panelists this, will be going part-time next season with Cup drivers as far as that's concerned. So with Logano, Blaney, and possibly Austin Cindric.
So that means we don't know if Penske's going to have a full-time ride?
They're only going to run a part-time schedule.
So there's not going to be any full-time?
So they're not going to run full-time. That's correct.
Okay.
So I just want to point that out. Harrison Burton, third, he just recently got eliminated. He had to start at the back because of tech issues. Riley Herbst, fourth. Justin Haley, fifth. His final start in the Xfinity Series. He will run with the same team in the Cup Series next season. John Hunter Nemechek, sixth. Brandon Jones, seventh. Brett Moffitt, eighth. Justin Allgaier, ninth. Sheldon Creed, 10th. Sheldon Creed will be joining Richard Childress Racing in the Cup Series next season. Michael Annett, in his final NASCAR race, finishes 11th. Noah Gragson got 12th. He will finish third in the point standings, and A.J. Allmendinger will finish fourth in the standings after finishing 14th.
Can I say this about Ned?
Sure.
People forget that it was his final full-time start.
Right.
He may make a return for a part-time schedule, but we don't know exactly.
Yeah.
Just wanted to clear that out of the way.
Yep. Then we go to the Cup Series race. I hate to say this, and I'm sorry if I have to join the Sean Art bandwagon, but they really need to come up with a name for the finale for the Cup Series. I hate to be on the damn bandwagon, but hell, put me on the damn bandwagon. The season finale 500 is not a race name. That's the weakest name since, I want to say, a chocolate bar got invented by Hershey's. Yeah.
Come up with better names for these races.
Make it the Subway 500, or like Mark Alvarez said yesterday on Twitter, the Checkers Auto Parts 500. Now that's a better race name.
Yeah.
Not the goddamn season finale 500. I mean, what good is that doing for you? Okay, I will accept that. Forgot to mention, Jesse Love won the championship, and Elijah's most favorite driver, Ty Gibbs, also won the ARCA West race. To the annoyance of Elijah. So, anyway, I just want to get some shout-outs out of the way. Oh, I'm not... Anyway, moving on. Alright, so let's talk about the Cup race. First incident, Bubba Wallace gets turned by Corey LaJoie after going 3 wide with Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Bubba Wallace backs his car in the wall. His day was done. He should have been called to the NASCAR hauler because the rule states you are not supposed to walk up the track towards another car, and that's what Bubba Wallace did. NASCAR didn't do that. Then Corey LaJoie got into an incident with Ricky Stenhouse Jr. in turn number 3, which people said that was karmic retribution. To me, I think it was an idiocy of all 3 of them. It's way too early in the race to be aggressive, especially in a 312-lap race, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm going to mostly blame Stenhouse for...
Hi, Elijah. Did you see what Elijah just said in the chat?
I guess you're talking about your favorite driver.
Wait, Sean, I got some more stats that would trigger some people. I got some good stats. After I get through the Cup recap, I got some good stats.
Okay, kid.
Yes. Back on topic after that little funniness. Stage 1 was won by Martin Truex Jr. Quinn Houff blew a tire going into turn number 4. He slammed the wall. That's a sad way to end Starcom's career. Some people are probably happy the 00 went out of the race in that regard. Kyle Busch accidentally turned Chase Briscoe into the wall. Briscoe's day was done. Rest of stage 2 is clean. Kyle Larson won stage number 2. Then Anthony Alfredo pasta the wall after blowing a right front tire off of turn number 2. His day was done. Then we had debris caution in turn 3. That was the last yellow. And Kyle Larson, as you can tell by the thumbnail, wins his 10th race of the season, which I got some stats about Larson in just a second. And most importantly, the 2021 champion for the Cup Series. Chase Briscoe, despite crashing out, is your Rookie of the Year, nevertheless. The top 10 results for the Cup Series race. Kyle Larson, the winner. Martin Truex Jr., second. Denny Hamlin, third. So they will finish 1, 2, 3 in the points. Ryan Blaney, fourth. Chase Elliott, fifth. He'll finish fourth in the point standings. Eric Almirola, sixth. Kyle Busch, seventh. Kevin Harvick, eighth. Christopher Bell, ninth. Brad Keselowski, 10th. Now...
Elijah, you want to play that game, huh?
Okay. I don't want to comment on what Cody just said, but anyway. Before we get our thoughts on Phoenix. So here's a couple of stats I just found out. This might trigger I'm sorry if I have to trigger you, Elijah, but yeah. I'm sorry because I have to explain this. Here's a little did you know part, Sean. Did you know that out of the 24 ARCA races, combined all 3 series, Ty Gibbs led the most laps in all 3 of them?
I did not know. I don't even watch ARCA, but...
Did you know, out of the 24 ARCA races, Ty Gibbs won 3/4 of it. 16 out of 24, which is a bruh to Cody Smart's surprise. So, yeah. Okay. So I got some good stats. I want to point this out. First time in NASCAR's series histories, we have first-time champions. Ben Rhodes in the Truck Series, Daniel Hemrick in the Xfinity Series, and Cup Kyle Larson. This is also the first time in NASCAR history that a driver that got their first career win also won the championship. Daniel Hemrick, you put your name on the list. First time the number 5 in the Cup Series won the championship since 1996 with Terry Labonte. So that's really good. It wasn't Ty Gibbs winning, it was Grandpa's winning. Oh, brother.
Nah, Elijah, it was not that. I don't know what you're talking about.
Either that or in all fairness, ARCA really does suck as far as the entry is concerned, but at least ARCA West had a bigger field than the main series.
Well, because, it's ARCA. They have ARCA brains.
Yeah. May I point out he also won Rookie of the Year in ARCA as well?
Do you not see Elijah just said that in the
Yeah.
chat?
Oh. Duh, I'm not paying attention, so anyway. Kyle... Sorry, I'm sorry. See, my head's not in the game. So, Kyle Larson joins Jimmy Johnson as the only drivers to win 10 races and the championship in the same year. Here's a little stat. I don't know if Sean knows this.
Well, he's not the only person that won 10 races and won the title.
Well, it's the first time it's happened since Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah, first time it's happened since him.
Mm-hmm.
Don't forget how many laps he led.
Yeah, he also broke Jeff Gordon's record. Kyle Larson joins Christopher Bell as the only NASCAR drivers to win the Chili Bowl and gone on to win the championship in the same year.
Well, can I also state this, Pat?
Yes.
Larson won 10 races and more than 2,500 laps and won the championship for the first time since Dale Earnhardt Sr. won the title.
Yep, which is very cool. Hendrick Motorsports has now won the last two championships. Last year, Chase Elliott, Kyle Larson this year, so that's really great. Here's a little stat you want to hear. Hendrick won the championship with the Gen 6 car. They end the Gen 6 era winning the championship. How cool is that?
Coincidence? I think not.
Exactly. All right, my panelists. What were your thoughts on Phoenix? Anybody?
Cody, you want to go first?
As usual.
Well, no. Wait, what were your thoughts on the NASCAR?
Yeah, what were your thoughts on Phoenix is what I just said.
Track, to be honest, was kind of boring. Not many constants, not many fantastic restarts.
It's like the truck series is never entertaining. Every time it's like last year it wasn't entertaining, but it wasn't a horrible race. But I see your point.
Trucks are usually entertaining at nearly every other track. And plus, this is a championship race, so significantly set under expectations here. Well, we usually have under expectations when we always go to.
Let me tell Ormy we're live, by the way. I just told him in his DM.
But it's like some people forget. There is no good expectations when it comes to Phoenix, especially now since they started hosting the championship race.
Which was last year.
Yeah, which I'm sorry, the past 2 years, this past 2 times that they held it, hasn't been some of the greatest racing.
Yeah. I mean, I understand we're giving it a chance, and I applaud we're giving it a chance, but like you said, you know, the last 2 years hasn't really been really exciting to your point. So I could kind of agree with that. While I understand, yes, we are giving this a chance and all that, but
now we seen it twice, and now they want to do it one more time.
well, yeah. I mean, the thing is, you know, the only difference we can say is that, you know, last year was with the traction compound. This year it's the residue. I thought the residue was a lot better than the PJ1. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, because it was really entertaining racing that we saw with the resin versus like the PJ1, because the PJ1 was not working. So, you know, I mean the resin just had a lot more racing than PJ1, so I could see that being a possibility.
Well, here's the thing. I want to say, it didn't matter what compounds on the track. We're supposed to try to see if we can make good racing.
Mm-hmm.
Was not bad. I'll say that. Oh, definitely not bad. I'm not the most exciting race in terms of what the championship is concerned. What's that? What pretty decent race. All of them were okay, but there was some controversy with some of them. Some of them, people didn't like the outcome, even though there was the cup race. We all knew what was going to happen. It's no, but that's kind of where controversy happened because system I don't want to go after.
Yeah. All right. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to rate this race weekend as normal. We're also going to rate the NASCAR season with all 3 series combined. So, Cody, if you had to give the Phoenix weekend from 1 to 10, with 1 being the worst and 10 being the greatest, What would you rate the entire weekend?
Oh, entire weekend? Well, let me see. I'm going to put it on average on a 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10. That's combined, right?
Yeah. That's the weekend. The season combined, I'm going to give it a 6.5.
Alright. For me, I could say, okay, I'm gonna just be honest here. This race last year for the Cup Series, by the way, this race last year, only had 3 cautions, the 2 stages and then 1 yellow. We had 3 times more cautions in this race this year versus this time last year, on this day last year. I'm gonna give the Phoenix weekend from 1 to 10 a 7. The season, I'm gonna just say a solid 7.
Yes, it's my turn now, right?
Yep, it's your turn. Unless Ormy, because Ormy has to, well,
Get in here.
mm-hmm.
Well, right now, Ormy's in the middle of training for the director position.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
But of course, he's still got to make predictions for global between now and Abu Dhabi, so.
Yeah, but that's my thoughts on the race weekend was I didn't really. There was some parts I enjoyed, some parts I really didn't. Yeah, but I'm gonna give the rating kind of smack dab in the middle at a 4. Yeah, it really just wasn't the best season ever. It was kind of really not. It was kind of on the way towards going towards one of the worst seasons I've ever witnessed.
Yeah.
I wish it wouldn't be that hard,
Mm-hmm.
but I think the give for the whole season as a whole a 3 out of 10. I'm sorry, but that's my opinion. I didn't enjoy. There were some parts I enjoyed. There were some parts I just really didn't care. So it's like, what can you expect from me?
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm not gonna think about that stuff and just give a blind rating. No.
Yeah.
That's my honest opinion on how I thought the season was.
I think the Gen 7, we're going to see a lot of upsets next year.
You're either gonna have upsets, or everyone's just gonna be complaining all over the place, being like, no, this isn't good and stuff, and
Yeah.
This
just in as far as the news. Somebody on Twitter just posted this. Matt DiBenedetto has made an apology on his Instagram and Facebook about his actions this past weekend. The actions he was talking about, referring to Dibby here, was about when Kyle Busch is required to do sensitive training. Kyle Busch's response was he was looking forward to it. Yeah. Thoughts on that? Because that sounds a little bit interesting, if you ask me.
I didn't really hear anything Matt DiBenedetto said, in my opinion. If, like, somebody would show me what he exactly said.
I think he was mocking about when Kyle Busch was what Kyle Busch said after Martinsville is what he was uh is why he apologized.
Oh, well, that makes
That
sense.
that would be why that's what I found out was he was mocking Kyle Busch after Kyle Busch said um the R word, not the R word I used to trigger Sean. In my opinion, okay, I hate to be a nuisance about this, but to be honest with you, the, can I just, the, retard word that I hate to bring this up is not an offensive word. Well, sometimes it can be offensive if you're driving, but in all seriousness, it's not an offensive word, in my opinion.
Well, here's the thing. It's kind of offensive towards people that have, like, disability.
Well, yeah, but it's for people just driving like idiots.
But, well, I can understand
Yeah.
why now that the Benedetto's like, oh, wait, I think I just made a mistake, and he wanted to apologize.
Mm-hmm. Taylor, by the way, just gave me a perfect rating, which is 10. Not just for the season, but also for Phoenix. I'm like, bruh.
Hey, I'm sorry, but is somebody forgetting something?
I don't. Something tells me somebody's gonna get roasted on the final ever episode of the Pit Stop Show, and I'm gonna die laughing when I watch it. When I watch the replay of it.
Mostly I know I've already seen the agenda, which thank you, Elijah, for already putting that there. I've already seen it.
The final ever agenda, which we'll get to that in just a little bit.
I'm not gonna say what's gonna. Elijah.
Something tells me it's going to be a really fun show when I see this on Friday.
Yeah, which I know we'll talk about when it'll come out and all that stuff once we get on later into the show. But let's continue on.
Yeah, when we get to the end of the NASCAR Pit Stop Show, it's going to get emotional. Oh, before I get to.
I did not expect the Benedetto to react the way he did towards
Kyle Busch.
I mean, that's just a flat-out mess. That's what it is. That and anything else like the politics is a complete messed up thing. I mean, honestly, this is why I explained to myself to become some sort of. I mean, I don't say this to many, but this is why I want to try to become a next generation people's rights, whatever. Like, I'm trying my best to explain it here. Because here's the thing. I mean, there are certain terms that you can and cannot use. I mean, it's pretty much the way of life. It's how to maintain the feet of hate and discrimination. Because, yeah, we did have some historical moments here and there, but I'm not going to get to I mean, you may or may not know the context of this already, so I'm just going to go all the way to last week. Let's be fair here.
Mm-hmm.
The whole Kyle Busch making that comment, I mean, I have discussions with this with people in other suburbs, even though, I mean, within, I don't know if I should say anything only because they're more immature than me. I mean, I don't know if that's right either, but I'm just trying my best to say it right as it would be approved in the next at least 20 years. That's me. So, let's say this. So, whatever Kyle Busch did say, yes, is pretty much a derogatory term to all those people with disabilities. Yeah, you get that one right. Now, how it was said, it wasn't directly targeted towards a person. According to the context of the situation, it was directly towards a situation in relation to the person. Well, even though it may seem like it may be less impact, there could be some people out there that may actually be offended, and in some ways, rightfully so. So how they handle the situation with Kyle Busch, I mean, here's what I was thinking. I definitely approve the sensitivity training that was required by NASCAR. And the reason why I'm saying this is because in order to really help with any social justice related issues, it's best to hear from those people yourself. Sometimes it's the best solution, just to hear the issues from the different identities of people. So like for example, like I'm a person with a disability, how do I feel about the situation myself? Well, I feel like yeah, it was kind of offensive. It was not okay to say in the public nowadays because I mean there are some people with disabilities that unfortunately don't have the ability to have any sorts of events that may relate to high amounts of intelligence or something like that. And this is me trying my best to say everything the right way as possible here. So, by what he said, now, it wasn't towards the person that at least good, but it's not too good either. Because again, this is a real issue. Moving on to about what happened, how it was reprimanded. Yep, it did come to be clear that it was a clear public reprimand. And to me, honestly, comparing that to what Carl Larson said last year, I was kind of concerned about how they penalized Carl Larson. Absolutely did include the fact that he was a sensitivity training after a season. I mean, I understand that it was down to end season. Now, moving on to how everybody else reacted, and I saw this on Fox News the other day. So Eminem decided that after he said that derogatory term, that they would still sponsor Kyle Busch for Phoenix, and they compared it to 2011 when he wrecked that Wild Hornady in the truck race at Texas. What did Eminem do? He was sponsorship for the final two races of the season. So, I don't know either everybody grew mature as people in as a company, or did they remain inconsistent? It's a really heated debate. So I feel like it really is going to be a heated debate that we're going to talk about throughout the entire off-season. Now, let's move on to Matt Menadell real quick. So, his reaction, I mean, I did not know really much about it before today. All I heard was the Benedetto was basically under what's the term here? But anyway, I mean, he was basically under fire, let's say it that way. Because of something he must have said. I had no idea what he said, I'm going to be honest. I had no idea what he said. I was pretty much living under a rock. Now, however, I did hear some things about, I don't know if this is going to be linked into politics. I'm not going to talk too much about this part, but something about the Benedetto acting as a nationalist of some sort. I do not know. I'm not going to go on with it, but long story short, just so we don't get too much into the politics, because if this is ever going to be said, it's going to be in the political campaign next year. Thank you! What I'm actually trying to say is, I'm glad that the Benedetto actually had the opportunity to apologize. Yeah, sometimes it's really hard to get the time out of the apologies. I mean, everybody's been apologizing, and 95% of the time, it was approved, and eventually, things would be back on track. I mean, that's what happened 95 to 99% of the time. Someone says an apology, and at least by a couple of weeks, it would be on forgiven. Everyone has been educated on some things. To me, that's how it's done around here. So, I'm glad the Benedetto made the apology. Did he understand this in the last month? Yeah. But I kind of hope that the Benedetto will have an opportunity next year. I mean, he has potential for talent. It's just not in the Cup Series. I hate to say it to the Benedetto fans, but it's not for the Cup Series. I hope he gets a really good opportunity in truck. I would prefer truck, but if it's Xfinity, then fair enough. Actually, at least go around where he can actually win for one. I mean, if Dan Hamler can do it, why not Matt the Benedetto? For Pete's sake, I'm pretty sure Matt the Benedetto was in Hamler won the championship. I'm not going to go on there either, because otherwise I'm going to go on the tangent of things.
So, this is the 14th championship for Hendrick. Hendrick Motorsports has won their 4th championship with the so far, 3rd under this format, so which is really nice so far. Now, let's get to some, and I'm going to go ahead and get my thoughts on this. There was controversy with the Haas F1 team, where Nikita Mazepin was not allowed to overtake Mick Schumacher in qualifying. Haas F1 fans, let me know what you all think about that, because that's been, like, the biggest debate in all of this. Let's get into the top story news. I'm just going to cut right to the chase. Alfa Romeo will be making an announcement on its second driver for 2022 following this weekend's Brazilian GP. Chinese Grand Prix has extended their contract till 2025. Of course, the last 2 years was canceled due to, well, the pandemic. As far as that is concerned, Gregory Sauce is joining ARTGP in Formula 3 next season, so we wish him good luck. Will Brown will run the Shaws and Panthers new look livery for the Bathurst 1000, which will be after we get done racing Sydney. In that regard, Busch Light will be the sponsor of the Clash at the Coliseum starting next year, as far as that's concerned. NASCAR. Okay, now I don't know if you all heard this. NASCAR has yet to determine whether or not Ben Bayshore, crew chief of Kyle Busch, will be suspended from either the Clash or the Daytona 500 for loose lug nuts that was found on the 18 from post-race inspection yesterday.
Oh, boy.
The crew chief will be fined $20,000, but it's undetermined whether or not that will result in a suspension, since we're moving to one lug nut next season. So, we'll keep you up to date on that little situation, if you know what I mean. I don't see any other news, so, yeah. Yeah. I don't see any other news and all that so far. Okay, and our report I basically already covered to you all as far as that's concerned, so there you go. I'll preview the upcoming events and all that, yada, 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 so far. Let's take a look at the final point standings for the NASCAR season, if you know what I mean. So, all right. In last place with 27 points is Cody Goforth, which I know Cody Goforth will not be back next season. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So Cody Goforth will finish 12th. Finishing 11th with 202 points is Quentin Moore. Completing the top 10 is Brendan Rodgers with 251 points. in ninth place in his first, well, technically, I would say a few starts, which is not too bad for Sean, who gets ninth with 451 points, nearly overtook Great Lakes, who finishes eighth with 467 points. Kyle Langland finishes seventh with 818 points, which Cody Smart's already told, hey, Tio, we got something to tell you on the You Blew It South Park edition.
You can also throw in my You Blew It as well.
Well, I'm not even going to do I'm not going to do that, because that would be ruining the Warner Brothers. Okay, this is the first for Triple P, as far as this is concerned. Finishing 6th and 5th. Sydney Curtis, 990 points. Allison Rainey, 1,326 points. Allie becomes the highest female panelist on Triple P to date, which is not too bad. She also takes home the Rookie of the Year honors for Triple P. Congratulations to her. Finishing 4th was yours truly with 1,357 points. Finishing 3rd, Nathan Orman with 1,460 points. Finishing 2nd with 1,473 points, Zachary Taylor. And winning for the 3rd time in a row since we've done this back in 2019 and keeping his undefeated streak alive, Cody, I cannot believe I know NASCAR a lot because my college senses were tingling smart with 1,611 points. Coincidence? I did not! And now I can do a Cody Smart speech. Just kidding. Oh, no comment.
Nice
comment. We'll get to the global standings going into this weekend's event coming up. So, it is going to be really a fun one. So, let's look back on the NASCAR season before Cody and I preview Brazil and Sydney. By the way, Sean will still be listening to our predictions in the VC for the remainder of the season. So, yeah. So, let's look back on this NASCAR season. You know, we've seen a lot of surprises. Some were really, I mean, you know, the worst moment of the season, let's be honest, will be the Bristol Dirt. What would you guys say would be your best moment of this year? What would be your best moment of this year, Cody? If from all three series. Oh, here's another step before I get to Sean. First time since 2015, Hendrick Motorsports has 2 Cup Series championship winning drivers on their roster. Go ahead, Sean.
All right. So I had to think a while for actually my best moment, but really, how can you beat how the 500 was? Especially the surprise winner at the end, Michael McDowell. Like, like, would anyone disagree? No one been able to win. He pulls off maybe the upset of the decade.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. For me, I would say probably not just Michael McDowell winning the 500. How about, some drivers got their first career wins in NASCAR? Tate Fogelman in the Truck Series, Bubba Wall in the Cup Series. Um, I don't think anybody expected um, as far as that's concerned. I didn't expect Stuart Haas Racing at the beginning of the year to have a terrible year. That was something that was my surprise about that. Um, you know, Chevrolet, ever since they got into alliance with ECR, I mean, they really flew the flew big time, and they were really impressive. So, you know, um, and going into next year with Kyle Larson, and this will be the first time I'll ever say this, as the defending Cup Series champion, it's going to be interesting to see what will happen. Can he try to pull a Jimmy Johnson? But going to this new generation 7 car, it's going to be a bit unknown, but we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah.
Yeah. No doubt, we love the NASCAR Pit Stop Show. We're sad to say goodbye to the Pit Stop Show this Friday, but we still love our favorite moments. Like the time Cody and Elijah were having a fun moment with each other on Don't You Mean episode 43 of the Early podcast. Yada yada yada.
No,
that's that's still going to be number one in the list of my favorite moments.
I know Elijah probably doesn't want me to say this one on the stream, but it's for me it was one of my favorite moments. Not the Ty Gibbs one, but we were making our predictions to I believe we were I forgot on the track we were going to, but it was last year. We got to Elijah and I said we saved the best for last. Wait a minute, no we didn't. We didn't save the best anybody. And me and Wyatt just started busting out laughing because
Yeah.
we thought it was funny. And I know Elijah didn't like that, but we thought it was just it was good. So I can't say it wasn't one of my better moments. It probably was, but I couldn't get rid of that one.
Yeah, it's definitely. Um, yeah, it's something we're definitely going to miss, if you know what I mean. The Pit Stop Show will be this Friday at what, 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and there's going to be, you better bring a lot of Kleenexes because it's going to be really a sad one. So.
We'll still try to have our normal shenanigans, our normal sort of fun. We're still gonna. I know. I guess I can tell y'all that we are going to talk about like especially how we do on here. Gonna talk about fans. We're probably gonna also talk about our favorite stuff this season. I think that would mostly be it. I don't think we're going to expect a lot to talk about, but we'll see what we can get on. But probably not.
Yeah. It'll be a sad one because after the NASCAR Pit Stop Show concludes, um, Triple P will have you covered for the remainder of the season, which we're definitely looking forward to because our fun's not over. We still have a lot of racing left to go. And like I said, we will take you all the way to the checker flag in Abu Dhabi as always so far.
And then after that, all of us
2022 will be ready to go.
We'll take about, I think after that, y'all take about a month off and then go right back to work.
Yeah. And speaking of racing coming up this week, for a awesome discussion next week. By the way, will be the season finale of the IMSA podcast, which brings us to our this week's upcoming events on this channel. The IMSA podcast, the season finale, 1 week from today. I do not know if it'll be live stream or not. I'm still thinking about that. If it's going to be taped, it will be at 10 a.m. Eastern Time next Monday. As we'll talk about Road Atlanta and all that, because some of the drivers in NASCAR will be in the Continental Tire race, so that will be something we're definitely looking forward to. So we still have to crown champions in the IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship and finish off as far as that's concerned. So if you know what I mean. So
Yeah.
but definitely looking forward to that, if you know what I mean. So that is a look at, and by the way, that was a look at this week's upcoming events. I'll also get to this week's upcoming Sooner Athletic events in a little bit later on. So, yeah. I was going to do Carmen PCSRA, but I'll probably do it next week. So, okay, Cody, you know what the task is. We still have some races, as I said, to go. Let's preview the Brazilian Grand Prix. Well, we already know what's going to happen at Sydney. I mean, that's the only obvious thing in the world. So, we're leaving Mexico. Yep, so we're leaving Mexico and we're going straight into Brazil. Brazil is one of those races that's unpredictable. As I said, the previous two races with USA and Mexico, the first race since 2019. In that race, Max Verstappen won, Gasly finished second, Sainz got third because of Hamilton's 5-second time penalty. What in the world are we in store for this year? We have no bloody clue, right?
Well, I think there probably is a slight clue that Max Verstappen has an 85% chance to finish ahead of Hamilton more than once. Because looking at the point stands right now for F1, even though a lot of people are saying otherwise, at this point, Max Verstappen is actually going to be the one that clinches the title for Abu Dhabi instead of Hamilton. Now keep that in mind because the point is by 19 points. If Verstappen wins again, especially if he gets the fastest lap, he'll end up being a full race weekend ahead of Hamilton in the point standings, which means there would be a chance that opens up that the title would be clinched after the inaugural race at Saudi Arabia. Keep that in mind. Now, of the other people trying to be dark horses at the end of the season, I mean, that's what we got to watch out for. I mean, there's already been a few people that kind of surprised us to finish well before the pass, including Hungaroring, which, why did we get as many people up in the bottom to finish in the top? I don't know how. Especially Nicholas Latifi, who finished in the top 10 2 times in a row at one time, which was a massive blah moment. Was it blah moment?
Yeah.
So, in the end, I would say some craziness is already expected to happen. But here's something crazy that you probably should expect. Max Verstappen to take Lewis Hamilton's place as a huge points leader of F1 by leading by an entire race. So exiting Brazil, there's a really good chance that Verstappen
The constructors is 1 point separation. So constructors may go all the way to Abu Dhabi, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, that's true. That really is true. I mean, Bottas is horrible finish. Now we get a wake-up call from Mercedes to consider the possibility of swapping George Russell with Valtteri Bottas.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we've seen a few of those swaps happen before in F1. They're just not likely. But something I could maybe see happen is if Bottas sucks again, they're probably going to swap him with George Russell starting at Saudi Arabia. And George Russell starts his Mercedes tenure 2 races early.
Yeah. So.
Because, I mean, I got to be honest, George Russell I think will be much more competitive.
Yeah. Speaking of the global standings, we're going to get into we're going to also make predictions again for Sydney 3. So here's the standings, because this is still going to go on between now and Abu Dhabi. Cody Smart's gap has not even changed, because, in fact, I couldn't make up I didn't gain points on him, and neither did anybody else, so... Yeah, so Cody has 686, I have 586, Taylor 544, Orman 477, Brendan Rogers 127, Cody Goforth 77. That's easy said and done, so. Alright. So, you all know the drill. Driver to win, driver to stay away from Dark Horse. It is 1 point each, so at least we're still into that category. Alright. Cody, rock, paper, scissors. You want me to go first, or do you want yourself to go first? I have a feeling you're probably going to want me to go first because I have a lot of pressure on myself.
I'm probably going to go first this time because, I mean, I don't know, we just make fans and going first all the time nowadays. I don't get it.
It's like Cody and I are just trading who wants to go first place. Oh, wait, let me get that up.
I feel like this is easy to say this. Give me SVG as driver to win.
I knew you were going to take SVG, because watch me take his teammate.
Oh, yeah.
I have a feeling I might pull the Cody Smart impression of taking his teammate.
After taking a look at his finishes, he's actually not going to be too easy for one. So I'm going to take advantage of it. Give me Fabian Coulthard as driver to stay away from.
Fabian Coulthard?
Yep. Hey, that's not bad. Yeah.
I wonder who... I have a feeling Bottas is now too easy for a driver to stay away from. Hi, Steven.
Hello.
Dark Horse, I'm going to give it to the driver that has it on the roll as of late. I'm going to be picking Ethan G. Pascali, even though he kind of tried to use the cut puck strategy a couple of times last week.
I just realized it was also the first time SVG was stay away from.
Which means everybody at Supercars has finished as the stay away from driver at least once.
Yep. Alright.
Not long.
Now your F1 picks.
Driver to win, I'm going to be honest. After seeing what I've been seeing in the Americas lately, I'll be shocked if it changes. So give me Max Verstappen as driver to win.
I knew you were going to take Verstappen.
Oh, yeah. Not that hard to choose them.
That was kind of easy.
If he wins again, I will literally not be shocked in the world.
You know something is that if it happens, it would be 2 in a row for Verstappen.
Red Bull or tries to make sure to get disqualified in the next race. Stay away from that one was a little difficult, but I'm gonna go ahead and pick a driver who I don't know how the hell he managed to pull this off, and not one, not two, but for the last 3 races, he has finished 1 spot short from
Antonio Giovinazzi.
It's not bad.
All right, Dark Horse. All right.
I am not surprised on that.
All right. Cody Smart is in. All right, for myself. I hate to be the guilty party in all of this. All right, supercars for me. Driver to win. I'm gonna go Anton D. Pascal. Well, I was not expecting Antoine D. Pascal to be really good, if you know what I mean. Driver stay away from. Oh no. Okay, I can't pick Frosty or SVG. Actually, I have a strategy I'm gonna take. Stay away from Todd Hazelwood. Dark Horse. Give me Jamie Wyncup. I just want to be conservative because I don't want to lose a lot of points to you, so that's why. All right, I'm gonna go an opposite way for my picks in F1. Dark Horse. What?
What do you mean by that?
I'm going to sadly take the Wyatt method, but even though I can get away with it on this show, so ha 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 ha. By Dark Horse for F1 in Brazil. I feel like this is one of those races that says, hey DV, can you please pick him? Because he's going to be really good. Considering he's been on a good momentum of lately, I'm taking Checo Perez as my dark horse. Driver stay away from. The last time we were in Brazil, we had a lot of infighting with this team. And it was not a good one, to say the least. This was a race Ferrari wanted to forget after what happened between Seb and Charles Leclerc. I feel like, to me, this is going to be one of those bad races that says, which team could be next? I feel like, to me, and I hate to say this to the Ferrari fans, considering how difficult it is for Leclerc, I'm sorry to tell you, Charles Leclerc is my driver to stay away from. I really just think, in my opinion, with, what happened with him and Seb in 2019, I just feel like it could happen again with Sainz. And Sainz is really good at Brazil because, remember, he got a podium after having to start at the back of the grid because of an engine penalty. And my driver to win, I can't take Verstappen, otherwise Cody's going to say, okay, so loudly. I think, to me, for this pick, I think we're going to see a lot of attrition, because Brazil normally is not a track that we see attrition. I'm going to take an upset. Lando Norris, driver to win. I have a feeling the two championship contenders will have a collision in Brazil. Lando Norris goes by them for the lead of the race, wins the race to make up for his failure at Russia.
That's a shocker right there. I'm not gonna lie.
Bet you didn't see that one coming. Oh God.
That's not surprising. People would choose him. But you know what? I want to say this.
Oh.
I want to give my one little insight on Brazil because I've seen Brazil races. That track is really, to get out to the front and keep it, you got a great way
Yeah.
to win that race. Especially since some of those corners are really difficult to make passes.
Well, let's not forget Lando. You know, it'd be another bro. You know, it'd be another bro moment is if Pierre Gasly wins the race and Cody says "bruh" to me.
We would all say,
Let me tell. Let me tell Orman. Global picks are open.
you might want to just tell everybody else who makes global pits.
Yeah.
That they're,
Yeah, I'm gonna ping. Alright, let me just do this. Oh,
but yeah,
Boilermaker fan. Go ahead, John.
I kind of already gave my one insight on Brazil. Because, yeah, the main problem that Brazil have are the corners, especially in sector 2.
Mm-hmm. Because that's a really twisty section. You need a good handling car, if you know what I mean.
And you need to also not try to force it if you are able to get past someone.
Oh, yeah.
I was going to say, wait till a mistake has happened and then make your move.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Can you believe that will be a huge, that could be a huge upset if that were to happen, which I'm hoping it does.
Well, people are open for just surprising things to happen, but it determines on where he's at the right place at the right time. That's it.
Yep. uh, that's how I'm gonna. Nobody else has made their global picks, but we'll probably see what Ormy and Taylor are gonna make when they get in the VC with us later. So.
Can I just say this out for
Sure, go ahead.
I just got news. There could be a surprising thing coming.
Ooh.
I have not been told what, but there is something surprising coming. Again, that's going to be happening on Friday for people that watch the Pit Stop show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which that will be on Friday so far. Now, continuing this week, we also have this week's upcoming Sooner Athletic events. OU is back after their bye week. They're playing Baylor this Saturday at 11 a.m. Central, and we're also playing Iowa State at 11 a.m., so which is not a happy thing. Our pregame coverage on 107.7 The Franchise will start at 9 a.m. as far as that's concerned. That's a look at this week's upcoming Sooner Athletic events and our amazing events, brought to you by Kim K Coach Lines, the official motor coach carrier of OU Athletics and Triple P. Visit kimkcoach.com. And as I said, we'll say farewell to the Pit Stop Show as far as that's concerned. As far as looking at this week's upcoming PCSRA racing events, this Thursday, as I said, will be our Veterans Day race. Our coverage will start at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. That will be from Bristol, which will be fun. Yep. That's a look at this week's upcoming PCSRA racing events. Brought to you by Subway Eat Fresh, proud sponsor of Chloe Baumgarten, number 84 Audi RSA. Alright, let's put a bow onto this episode. Final thoughts on the NASCAR season before we get out of here and have some, so I can go get some lunch and we can start a VC with Ormy and them.
I mean, NASCAR season, that was the best season ever. Let's be honest, that was not even close to the best season ever. I do not know why they said best season ever. Advertising tactic or something? I think it was the best season ever either. NASCAR, next time when you proclaim something's going to be the best, check your facts before you just say something that is true. Sorry. Well, I was only going to say, we also are saying goodbye to a bunch of stuff. So, like the kids, Starcom, and we're losing a bunch of stuff that was that we're saying goodbye to. But hopefully now with the season being done, everyone can just, if you're a NASCAR fan, take a few weeks off and just lay low for a bit.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys still got another month of racing. I get to lay low for the next
Yeah.
few months. But
For
I'm going on it with you guys from time to time.
yeah.
Maybe some stuff that happens with racing.
Yeah. For me, I think, looking back on the NASCAR season, it was really a good season. It was somewhat of a good season, not the greatest, but I think it was fair. Now, was it the best season? 50-50. Because we want racing to be good, but we don't want racing to be iffy, if you know what I mean. So, I think it's going to be something we're definitely going to look forward to. For the rest of the global season, I think for all of us, we're definitely looking forward to see what kind of um, how this championship battle is going to go between Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen in the drivers' championship, and also in the constructors. Because remember, there's still 100 points to be played for going into these last 4 races of the season. Supercars, for me, I think is kind of a toss-up how this will play out going into uh, the greatest race in Australian motorsports, the Bathurst 1000. So we kind of are not sure uh, where we're going to be at as far as that's concerned. So we will just have to wait and see how that goes.
That's actually really interesting that you just mentioned about global. Because, I mean, there's some things that probably give me cover on that one, believe it or not. So, I want to take a small of the three. After we don't stand back until Saudi Arabia. And that's when next looks like there is a small chance that because this champion one week with family. If not, well, we'll get this best on to S3 when we have our champion clutch before we do that. And are we going to the Oscar the S3 on a one weekend? And all of us getting some sort of point. But even with that being possible, there's a lot of bunch to be played for after Thanksgiving. Yeah, it's the next week with that story. When we get past Thanksgiving and then December, the Bathurst 1000, yes. You know, I'm really talking dirty. I don't know who that will go 50 again.
uh, yeah.
But yeah, even when those like Nathan Orman, when I take a look at the standings, is pretty much in a must-win situation. Well, here's the good news for Orme, and I'll talk about this more when we get to the summer. But based on what's going on with the Constructors Championship and the Drivers' Championship, Luke is looking good to scoring 50 or 100 points here. He really is. And that should help them get into the podium and knock out Taylor. But there's other things you gotta think about too, but that's just one of them.
Yeah. Yeah. I will be right back to wrap up this show, and then we'll continue the BC in here. So, it's going to be really good so far. Special thanks to Sean Art and Cody Smart for joining me. Also to our panelists, Nathan Orman, Zachary Taylor, Great Lakes, Sydney and Allie, and all of the other panelists who are part of this amazing show. Our statistician, Caleb Hobbs, producer and engineer, Zachary Fitzwater, Jackie Tang, Alex Hawkins, Dennis Stats Kelly, our spotter, Greg, Michael Dean, Tom Shores, and all of our great people. Prue Granger, Lucky Prescott, Abigail Stone, and all that. Daniel Anderson running the show for us back in our PCSRA Network studios. And next, after my fine television programming, Friday night's race from Phoenix to Camping World Truck Series Rewind, which will be cool after my fine television programming. The Oklahoma Highway Safety Office is a proud sponsor of OU Athletics and Triple P all season long, and wants to remind you that drinking and driving is deadly and illegal. Together we can end DUI. Visit enduyok.com to learn more. As we close this broadcast, we want to thank all the men and women for serving our country on this Veterans Day week. We thank you for all of you that have served this country from past, continuing to serve our country right now, and those that are planning to serve our country in the future. From all of us on this channel and everybody, we want to thank you for your service. Final score one final time from Global Life Park in Arlington, Texas. As normally I would say an OU game, but they weren't playing this week. It was Army 21, Air Force 14 in overtime in Texas in a great game, which both of them sung their alma mater. Until next week, when we recap Brazil and Sydney, look ahead to Sydney 4 and the Qatar Grand Prix in LaSalle, and all that good stuff. Until next week, this is Daniel Volsan. Boomer Sooner, everybody.
On the PCSRA Sports Network from Learfield IMG College, PCSRA Paddock Pass has been brought to you by Budweiser, Love's Travel Stops, iHeartMedia, The Oklahoman, Newcastle Casino, Devon Energy, Sonic Drive-Ins, and by the Oklahoma Highway Safety Office, where we encourage all of you fans that together we can end DUI. Thanks for joining us for the PCSRA Paddock Pass Show. The preceding has been a Learfield IMG College presentation on the PCSRA Sports Network. Copyright 2021 by the National Association of Professional Racing Leagues and the Pacific Coast Sports Racing Association.